Welcome to the Wisdom Path. If you've ever felt like life is just happening to you, like you're simply reacting instead of choosing, this story is for you. In this video series, we'll explore how to take back control and live a life that truly feels like your own. If you're ready to design a life that reflects who you are, not who the world expects you to be, stay with us, and don't forget to subscribe to the Wisdom Path. Lesson 1. Know what truly matters. Let me tell you a quick story. There once was a young man named Leo who worked in a big city office. Every day he wore the same gray suit, rode the same train, and typed away at the same reports. He earned a good living, but something inside him felt empty. One day his nephew asked him, "Uncle Leo, what do you love most in the world?" Leo paused. He didn't know how to answer. That moment was a wake-up call. He realized he had been living according to what others expected, not what he truly valued. This is where our journey begins, with clarity. Clarity isn't just about goals. It's about understanding your core values, what makes you feel alive. For Leo, it turned out to be family, creativity, and freedom. Not money, not status. Here's a simple exercise you can do. Write down the 5 things you value most. Don't think too hard. Let your heart speak before your mind edits it. Is it health, honesty, adventure, faith? Write them down. Once you're clear on your values, you begin to see life differently. Decisions become easier. If your top value is family, then working 80-hour weeks might not make sense, even if it brings more money. As Tony Robbins once said, "It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. And what we do consistently should align with what we care about most." Lesson 2. Make decisions with intention. Life is made up of thousands of small decisions. Imagine your life is a garden. Each decision is a seed. Some grow into strong trees, others turn into weeds. The problem is, many people are planting seeds without even looking. They're on autopilot. Intentional living is about pausing before you plant. Asking yourself, will this bring me closer to the life I want? Let's say you're offered a promotion. More money, more responsibility. Sounds great, right? But what if that new role means less time with your kids, more stress, and more nights at the office? When you're intentional, you don't just ask, "Is this good?" You ask, "Is this good for me?" Here's a trick I teach my coaching clients. Before you say yes to something, ask yourself, does it match my top 3 values? Will I feel proud of this choice a year from now? Try it this week. Before you commit to anything, a meeting, a purchase, a promise, ask yourself those 2 questions. Lesson 3. Practice everyday awareness. Remember how we talked about Leo? After identifying his values, he started practicing something he'd never done before: mindful decision-making. Mindfulness doesn't mean you have to meditate for an hour every day, though that's great if you can. It just means being present. Noticing your thoughts, feelings, and choices in real time. Think of it like driving. You can drive while daydreaming, or you can keep your hands steady and your eyes on the road. When you're mindful, you see where you're going, and you're less likely to crash. Here's a metaphor I love. Your mind is like a radio station. Some days it's playing calm music. Other days it's all static. The only way to tune in clearly is to pause, breathe, and listen. Set small reminders throughout the day. When you sip your coffee, take a moment to ask, how am I feeling right now? Am I acting in a way that fits my best self? You might be surprised at what you notice. And those small moments of awareness, they build a powerful habit, living consciously instead of living on repeat. You don't need to have all the answers today, but you can ask better questions. What do I value most in life? Am I living in alignment with those values? Are my daily choices bringing me closer to or farther from the life I want? When you begin to live from a place of clarity and intention, even your ordinary days begin to feel extraordinary. Lesson 4. Vulnerability is strength in disguise. Most people avoid vulnerability like it's a cold shower, uncomfortable, maybe even painful. But here's the truth. Being vulnerable is one of the most courageous things you can do. Let me share a quick story. A woman named Clara had always been known as the strong one. She helped everyone, never asked for help herself. But deep down, she was exhausted and lonely. One day, during a team meeting at work, she opened up and said, "I'm struggling right now. I need support." Something unexpected happened. Instead of judgment, she got understanding. Her team rallied around her. People even began sharing their own struggles. That one moment of openness changed the entire culture of her workplace. We're taught to wear masks, to be perfect. But perfection creates distance. Vulnerability creates connection. As Denzel Washington once said, "Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship." And I would add, hiding is a greater threat to connection than honesty. So what does this mean for your life? It means giving yourself permission to say, "I don't have it all figured out." It means being honest in your relationships. It means asking for help when you need it. Try this. The next time someone asks, "How are you?" instead of saying, "I'm fine," say something true. Just one honest sentence. Watch what happens. Lesson 5. Surround yourself with the right people. Have you ever heard the saying, "You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with"? Think about that. Are the people around you helping you grow or keeping you stuck? Imagine you're climbing a mountain. If you're surrounded by people who are climbing with you, you'll encourage each other, share tools, and keep going. But if you're with people who'd rather stay at base camp, you might get pulled back down. Creating a supportive environment doesn't mean cutting everyone out. It means choosing wisely who you let influence your thoughts, energy, and direction. Let me give you a real-world example. A man named David wanted to start a wellness business. His old group of friends didn't believe in him. They laughed at the idea. So he found a group of entrepreneurs who were on a similar path. Within a year, his business was thriving. He didn't become someone new. He just stepped into who he already was, surrounded by people who saw that version of him. Here's a tip. List 5 people you talk to the most. Next to each name, write a plus if they support your growth, A if they hold you back, and a 0 if they're neutral. This simple exercise can be very revealing. Uplifting environments are two-way streets. Give what you want to receive. Encourage others, share wisdom, and be the person who says, "I believe in you." Lesson 6. Design your space for growth. Support isn't just about people, it's also about places and habits. Your environment can either help you stay focused or keep you distracted. You don't need a fancy studio or a cabin in the mountains. You just need intention. For example, want to eat healthier? Keep fruits and veggies at eye level. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow. Want to feel calmer? Remove clutter and add a few cozy touches to your space. Environment sends signals to your brain. It says, "This is what we value here." If your home, your desk, your phone are all filled with distractions, that's the life they will create. But if they are set up for clarity and calm, your mind will follow. Here's a small but powerful idea. Create a growth corner. It could be a chair by the window, a notebook, a candle. Make it your space for reflection, reading, or writing your intentions. You'll be amazed how much change can begin in a tiny space built with love and purpose. Living your first choice life doesn't mean being fearless. It means being brave enough to show up, even when it's hard. It means saying, "I am worth supporting. I deserve to be surrounded by people who lift me. I choose to create an environment where I can thrive." Lesson 7. Commit to lifelong growth. Imagine life as a river. You're either flowing forward, adapting to each bend, or you're stuck, clinging to the same old rock. True fulfillment doesn't come from staying the same. It comes from growth. Not just achieving goals, but learning as you go. Let me tell you about Elena. Elena had been a high school teacher for 15 years. She was good at her job, but deep down, she felt something was missing. One summer, she enrolled in a short course on storytelling. She thought it would just be a hobby, but that course opened a door. Within 2 years, Elena became a speaker, sharing her life lessons on stages and podcasts. Her secret? She never stopped learning. You see, growth doesn't require quitting your job or flipping your life upside down. It starts with curiosity. A book, a conversation, a new skill. Even 15 minutes a day can change the way you see the world. Try this simple practice. Ask yourself at the end of each week, what did I learn? It could be something about yourself, your work, your relationships. Write it down. Growth tracked is growth multiplied. And remember, as Brian Tracy once said, your life only gets better when you get better. Make learning a lifestyle, not a chore. Turn setbacks into lessons. Let's face it, things won't always go as planned. You'll make mistakes. You'll face rejection. You might try something new and fall flat. That's part of it. But what separates people who grow from those who give up is simple: perspective. Imagine a young man named Theo. He launched a small online store. He spent months building it. But after 6 months, he had only sold a few items. He felt embarrassed. He wanted to quit. But then, instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" he asked, "What can I learn from this?" That shift in thinking changed everything. He saw that he hadn't marketed correctly, that his product photos weren't appealing, that he was afraid to talk about his business. Instead of quitting, he improved. A year later, his store was successful. Here's a mindset shift that might help you too. This is the end. This is information. Each failure is simply feedback. Like a compass, it points you toward a better route. If you can look at every mistake as a message, not a judgment, you'll never really lose. You'll either win or you'll learn. Reflect, celebrate, and be grateful. We often rush from one goal to the next. Finish one thing, start another. But growth without reflection is like eating without digesting. You won't feel nourished. Take a moment now, wherever you are. Think about something you've achieved in the last year, big or small. Maybe you had a hard conversation. Maybe you started journaling. Maybe you simply survived a tough season. That matters. Here's a lovely habit to build. At the end of each month, ask yourself, what am I proud of? What challenged me? What am I thankful for? You don't need a fancy journal, just a few lines. But those few lines will become your personal record of growth. Gratitude also shifts your focus. It reminds you of what's working, even when everything feels messy. Think of gratitude as a flashlight. Life can get dark, but with that light, you'll always find your way forward. Try this. Every morning, write down 3 things you're thankful for. Every evening, write 1 thing you did well that day. These small acts create a big result. They build your inner strength. Remember, your life is a garden. Let's return to a metaphor we used in part 1. Life as a garden. By now, you've chosen your seeds, values, planted them with care, intentions, tended the soil, supportive environment, and watched for weeds, self-awareness, and vulnerability. Now, you continue to water and prune, learning, growing, and giving thanks as your garden becomes more alive, more colorful, more you. Remember, not every seed grows at the same speed. Some bloom quickly, others take time. But with love, patience, and persistence, everything has a chance to grow. You've made it to the end of this series, but really, it's only the beginning. You now have tools to design your first choice life, a life lived from within, not based on outside noise. One where you decide with clarity, act with intention, connect with courage, and grow with grace. Your life is not a to-do list. It's not a competition. It's not a race. It's a path. Your path. the wisdom path. Thank you for walking with me. If this series helped you in any way, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What was your favorite lesson? What will you put into practice? And if you want more videos like this, stories that inspire, and lessons that stay with you, please subscribe to the Wisdom Path. Together, we'll keep learning, keep growing, and keep choosing wisely. You are the author, you are the artist, and every moment is your chance to begin again. Until next time, be well and walk with wisdom.